This segment brought to you in association with Burger King.
And it's time now for our first look at sports. We say good evening to Anne-Marie Burke.
Well, good evening, Lisa. Of course, we're going to go to the ICC World Cup, and that is David Warner's accomplished 166 was the bedrock for a 48-run win that took holders Australia top of the ICC World Cup points table and damaged Bangladesh's chances of making the semi-finals. Warner found some explosive form at Trent Bridge to push Australia to their second highest World Cup score of 381 for 5 off their 50 overs. The first shared in a 121-run partnership with skipper Aaron Finch, who scored 53 before adding 192 for the second wicket with Usman Khawaja, who added 89. Bangladesh did well to reach 333 for 8 in their losing effort. Mushrifur Rahim had an impressive unbeaten knock of 102, backed up by 69 from Mamadullah and 62 from Tahim Iqbal. But the tournament continues tomorrow with a clash between hosts England and Sri Lanka. Live coverage again will be on MCTV's ESPN and Radio 94.7 FM from 5:30 a.m. But the former Barbados pacer Henderson Brooms is the new chairman of the Barbados Cricket Association's senior selection panel. Brooms will have with him former England international Roland Butcher, along with former West Indies all-rounder and Barbados captain Ryan Hines. The trio will initially serve for 2 years. Barbados' mixed doubles team of Megan Best and Kamal Kamabach won gold at the 27th Pan Am Junior Squash Championships last night at the Mayfair Lakeshore Club in Toronto, Canada. Best and Kamabach defeated Ecuador's Maria Paula Moya and David Costales 11-6, 9-11, 11-7 in the final that lasted just over an hour. This goal comes one day after Best won silver in the girls' singles after she lost to Moya in the final. Earlier in the day, the team events got underway with the girls' team of Megan Best, Jada Smith-Padmore and Sumara Suleiman losing 2-1 to Team USA. The boys' team of Kamal Kamabach, Shamar Burnham and Darian Ben faced off with Bermuda, and they also lost 2-1. Wesley Hall Juniors are the girls' champions, while the Eiffel School are champions in the boys as the National Primary School's volleyball competition came to an end recently at the Wildy Gym. The girls from Wesley Hall claimed a 15-12, 15-12 win against Deacons in their final to lift that trophy, while the Eiffel School were also 2 sets winners, 15-9, 15-10 over West Terrace in the boys' final. Tonight we have a report from the girls. The girls' final saw Deacons Primary in Far Court in the blue up against the Little Ladies of Wesley Hall, who claimed this point. Wesley Hall, if the serve is good, Deacons picks it up but just couldn't control it. Point to Wesley Hall. Another point added as this would be an ace. The very next ball again just not picked up by Deacons, Wesley Hall in control. But don't think Deacons was totally outplayed. A nice return at the net drops in court and the game is on. Deacons with the serve again and miscommunication rewards them with an ace. But Wesley Hall met business. Thierry Herbert Mears comes through with the block. And it'll soon be set point and an ace to seal it. Wesley Hall take the first set 15-12. Second set action now, and Deacons has the first serve and the return is not picked up effectively, so they get first dibs on the cards. But sure enough, Wesley Hall will soon be back in the game. The return falls short. Herbert Mears serving again. Nice reply back in the Wesley Hall half, and the free ball just can't be returned. The bench is loving it. Then came those signature aces, the points racking up. Deacons had their shining moments too. That too was hard to pick up. Deacons then found a rhythm and they pulled it back to a 1-point game. Could they do it again? The serve is good, but the return just not controlled. Wesley Hall back in command. And this serve brought it to now a 3-point lead, and they could smell victory. This was a set and championship point, but the excitement got to Herbert Mears, so Deacons get a lifeline. And they did capitalize, making it an ace. The deficit now 2 points. But here's where it was won. The Deacons serve just not executed. Wesley Hall takes a second set at 12. The girls champions for 2019. And the MVP of the girls' competition was Wesley Hall's Thierry Herbert Mears. We'll have the boys' final in tomorrow's Sports Night. Well, there will be plenty speed to burn at the National Stadium over the next few days for the National Track and Field Championships. This island's best local and overseas-based athletes will go head-to-head in various disciplines starting tomorrow at 6 p.m. and culminating on Sunday. One of those looking to do the double in their event is sprinter Mario Burke, who was a guest on Morning Barbados today. The informed Burke, who just graduated from the University of Houston, will be the one to beat in the 100 and 200 meters. He currently has a personal best time of 9.98 seconds in the one.
Honestly, I gave a lot of credit to all my coaches that I had in my life. I started off with Miss Barrow Smith at BC Track Club, and I was really learning the fundamentals of track and field and everything, because I started training at a young age. And then I moved on to another coach at BC Track Club, Miss Nikisha Maynard, Mr. Raymond Rudder. And then my coach at Harrison College, Mr. Adrian Thorne, you know, that was when I really went to another level. And then I went overseas, and then the rest was history for me, and just trying to perfect my craft and just get better and better.
Does it ever play on your mind, I'm in the United States? This is the place where, you know, so many other big athletes run. I've seen them on TV now, I'm running against them. How much of the psychology of that affects you? I
always tell myself that those who were my idols, they were going to become my rivals. So I don't get...
I like you too.
Yeah, I don't get backed down or intimidated by them.
Burke also says he wants to share his experiences with the young upcoming athletes.
It just means a lot to be home. I don't often get to run in Barbados, so I finally get a chance, so I'm excited to do it as well.
Good.
And you know, I just want to be like a role model to the young ones coming up, because when I was in BC Track Club as a primary school athlete, I used to always love watching and seeing Ramon Gatins or Daddy Thompson and those guys compete. So I just want to be able to compete so the young ones can see me and just
pay it back.
Yeah, and get back.
We have some good fast ones here still, you know.
Yeah, I be following, so I know of it.
So who do you think is your stiffest competition upcoming this weekend?
I ain't gonna call it any names, but there's a lot of people that can actually compete and run well this weekend, so it's gonna be fun.
Former president of the Athletics Association of Barbados, Esther Maynard, says the event will be used to prepare national teams for various events this summer.
We have 6 teams that are going to be traveling in the summer, ranging right from the little under-13s, under-15s, right through to the World Championships. You've got other competitions, the under-23s, the under-18s, the under-20s, and the Pan Am Games. So it's a real pack schedule, and also the fact that, you know, this is the final selection meet for most of these athletes makes it really an outstanding championships. We've got virtually almost every one of our top athletes home, and you will see from the sprints, Mario, Ramon, Burkhart, you will see the hurdlers in Shane, and back to fitness, Greg Marr, Michael Worrell. So I could go on and quote using these names, but we obviously cannot leave out Jonathan Jones.
Jonathan Jones will be home for this?
Yes,
all right.
with his new two new national records under his belt.
Coming up on Line and Length at the World Cup, the legend of Joe Garner looms large at Taunton as the West Indies cricketers dominate a museum unlike any other. On Line and Length at the World Cup, brought to you by Sagicor General, wise financial thinking for life. Park and Fly by Seaweller Services, add a little luxury to your trip. And Project Recycle, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Insurance doesn't have to be complicated. Learn more at Sagicor.com.
There are 2 ways to book Park and Fly. First, you can call us at 428-0949 or email us at parkandfly@seawellbarbados.net. And the park is P-A-R-K and A-N-D, parkandfly@seawellbarbados.net.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. People, move your waste. It ain't a lot to work to make this a cleaner place. Bottles, cans, cardboard in one bag together. With kitchen scraps and peelings all going in another. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Get your waste pick up. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Look for the big truck. It's good for you. It's good for me. Good for all of we. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Barbados. For a healthy country. Think, think.
Ask anyone in Somerset who are two of the most revered West Indian cricketers ever to play at this county, and you're sure to hear the names Joel Garner and Sir Vivian Richards.
First thing everyone sees when they come into this museum is Joel Garner here. He played for Somerset in the 70s and early 80s. Wonderful bowler, and you'll probably see his boot, which everyone who comes into the museum says, have you got Joel Garner's boot? And there it is, size 15. Another great West Indian who played for Somerset at the same time, Sir Vivian Richards. He scored hundreds of thousands of runs for us. He scored 1,000 runs in the season 10 times for Somerset, and he scored more than 50% of the times he batted for Somerset. And another famous West Indian who played for us and is still playing was Chris Gale. And here's the helmet he wore when he played for Somerset in the T20 matches, and one of his innings, 151 not out in a T20 match. Unfortunately, Somerset managed to lose that game, even though he scored all those runs. And next to the helmet there of batting gloves, worn by Kieran Pollard when he played for us in the T20s. He was another fast bowler and a big hitter.
Of course, there are also other West Indians who played that weren't as prolific but made a mark, like Hallam Mosley and others. The beautiful museum also has room for Somerset's women's cricketers who've gone on to play for England and also achieved a lot at the club. And just about every Wisden from inception to now. Sir Vivian and Joe Garner both have their own gates and memorabilia all over the club. It's no wonder these guys are living legends of cricket at Somerset. Line and Length at the World Cup is brought to you by Sagicor General, wise financial thinking for life. Park and Fly by Seaweller Services, add a little luxury to your trip. And Project Recycle, reduce, reuse and recycle.
Insurance doesn't have to be complicated. Learn more at Sagicor.com.
There are two ways to book Park and Fly. First, you can call us at 428-0949 or email us at parkandfly@seawellbarbados.net. And the park is P-A-R-K and A-N-D, parkandfly@seawellbarbados.net.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. People, move your waste. It takes a lot to walk to make this a cleaner place. Bottles, cans, cardboard in one bag together with kitchen scraps and peelings all going in another. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Get your waste pick up. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Look for the big truck. It's good for you. It's good for me. Good for all of we. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Barbados. For a healthy country. Think, think.